Was he ever warned not to be on the property beforehand?
Not before and at that time.
So we have no violation of law then, correct?
Just the warning.
So he won't ID himself?
No.
I mean, he didn't break the law. He didn't have to ID himself.
Okay.
So it'd be one thing if he went back up on there after he was warned, but
maybe go.
That you have us tied up with. So just understand, if you come back on the property, you're going to jail.
You gonna violate my rights?
I'm gonna take you to jail.
You gonna violate my rights?
I'm gonna take you to jail. I promise you that.
That's how we gonna do it. Okay.
Today, we're taking you straight to Kansas City, Missouri, and Jacksonville, Texas, where two tense ID refusal encounters quickly spiral into full-blown confrontations. These officers may have gone too far when demanding identification. Featured from the original channels Kansas City Accountability and Freedom of Movement Suspicious Activity 2.0, whose work continues to spread awareness about civil rights and police accountability. But the real question is, will he give up his ID or stand his ground? Make sure to subscribe to the original channels, links are in the description, and tell them ID Refusal Pro sent you, because we stand for civil liberties. Trust me, this is one of those videos that will leave you thinking long after it ends.
Look at that tinted fucking infinity. Yeah, that little booger getting in the car.
It's the older model Ford
Taurus.
Ford Taurus. Copy. 252. Can you copy correct check?
Hey man.
How's it going?
Apparently you guys were Officer Bremer.
Bremer. And what's your name and badge number?
Long story short, it sounds like whatever you were doing at the bank, they don't want you to be over there anymore.
I was on the public sidewalk recording.
Okay, well they said whatever you were doing, they just don't want you over there anymore.
I was on the public sidewalk. They can't tell me not to be on the public
I don't know, man. That's why I came over here to talk to you.
You want to go over there?
No, not really.
You can go over there.
And
I told them, they came outside. Let me calm down. They came outside. The guy, Aaron, he said, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm an independent journalist. I'm just gathering content on the story. I was walking all the way up down Truman, and I walked down there to record the train. And then the lady came out. She said, hey, you can't record the bank. I said, ma'am, I'm on public property. So
yeah, but you could see why that would kind of make them uncomfortable, right? I mean, it's a bank.
You can't even see nothing.
I know, but they don't know that.
Yeah, you can. If you stand outside and you look at the bank, you can't see anything. The windows is tinted. It's reflected.
Do you have an ID on you?
Do I need an ID?
Yes.
For what?
They identified you. You just identified yourself as being over there.
On the sidewalk.
I'm investigating whatever this is.
What crime?
Possible trespassing?
I was on the sidewalk.
We identify you so we can issue you the warning for trespassing.
I was. How you going to trespass me and I'm on the sidewalk?
Because they're saying you were on the property.
I got camera footage. Now, if they lying to you and I show you that they're lying, are you going to do something to them?
That's between you and them at that point.
That would be a court deal.
I'm on the public sidewalk. I came all the way up Truman. I walked down there to get the footage of the train. On my way back, I just looked at the bank, and they came running outside.
Okay.
So, yeah, came back over here, walked there, about to go to work.
Okay, so I need your ID.
No, sir.
I do, though.
No, you do not. For what crime?
I just told you, they put in a call on you.
I wasn't.
You just identified yourself as the party over there. I was
still on that sidewalk when you pulled up. I wish I was on the sidewalk. I was right here, sir.
So I'm confused, man. So you're gonna refuse to give me your information for a lawful stop?
No, I'm not.
So you're gonna get arrested and hindered?
No, I'm not obligated to give you my ID.
You are. I just told you.
Because I haven't committed no.
The tension snaps instantly. The officer demands ID, but fails to clearly articulate a crime. Under the Fourth Amendment and Terry v. Ohio, police must have reasonable, articulatable suspicion before detaining someone. Here, filming on a public sidewalk is protected under the First Amendment. Without a valid trespass or criminal act, demanding ID becomes legally fragile. This moment exposes the critical gap between suspicion and lawful detention.
I just told you.
No crime was committed, sir.
Brother, your tags are kind of like on file. Okay. Public access registration. Do you have the registration paperwork for it? You can hold your phone up and zoom.
No, it's okay. No, I'm
asking you a legitimate question.
guys.
You have
So
a reasonable amount of time
this
to be able to
this
answer
is
the
when,
question.
and I had my selfie stick out when I was recording. I was on the public
Okay,
side.
you're redirecting against my question of
I don't
the
have
registration
to answer your
information.
question.
I asked you if you have the registration information for your vehicle that you drove here on a Missouri roadway that is unregistered as of right now. Now, it doesn't go back to our system. We ran it throughout of Kansas.
Go ahead.
Now we need to verify to make sure. So that's why I'm asking you if you have the paperwork.
You didn't see me drive the car.
How else did you get here?
It don't matter.
How else did you get
It don't matter, sir.
here? It does matter.
It does. And if you see that came from a dealership.
Okay, so you're not wanting to give us your information.
No, let's get it
Listen,
frozen. I'll look on that.
listen. If I committed a crime, I will give you my ID. That's what reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. I was standing on that sidewalk, sir. Why would you try to infringe on my rights?
Okay, so let me get this straight.
Why
So
would you try to infringe on my rights?
you're gonna stand outside of a bank
No,
in
I
midday, and I heard you.
Okay.
So you're gonna stand outside of a bank in midday, videotaping the bank, and you don't think that's gonna make the employees extremely uncomfortable
See, where they get
because you're in the inner city. Do you stay in Kansas?
their uncomfortability.
Okay,
don't
so you're in
stop
the
my
inner
rights.
city of KCMO. Okay, so that makes most businesses extremely uncomfortable around
What's up
here.
with your buddy, man?
So now that you've identified yourself now as the one being standing out
Standing
there
on the sidewalk.
and videotaping them and making them feel uncomfortable,
I came
to
to-
issue the verbal warning,
No, listen.
which is what we're trying to do so we can send you about your way, you're refusing to give your information.
No. No, what happened
So
is,
I'm only going to ask you one more time, and then I'm just going to have to cuff you up, man. I don't want to do that. I would like to send you about your way. Yeah, absolutely.
Please, because I was on the sidewalk.
352 to 350.
That's how trespass works. Trespass, if you're on the property, they tell you to leave. That's how it go. They give you a chance to leave.
This gentleman's wanting a supervisor, if you're available.
You know what I would have liked to happen when you guys pulled up and they called you guys? Hey, where was he standing at? Was he on you
Truman
guys'
and Cleveland
property?
in
You should-
the Sinclair parking lot here.
What I would have liked is, sir, when you pulled up and they told you what happened, hey, he was on the sidewalk, he has every right to record on the sidewalk. I wasn't even coming to the bank. I was coming to get the train.
There's officers that monitor the city cameras that saw you verbatim on their property.
That's a lie.
It's in the call notes,
Okay,
brother.
do you want me to stop this video and show you?
No, I would like to get your information so I could issue the verbal warning and send you about your way.
I wasn't on their property. That's how trespass works. Trespass, if you're on the property, they tell you to leave. That's how it go. They give you a chance to leave.
You're
and
also
then you're
videotaping
trespass.
them and they don't know that you have a selfie stick. Why would citizens that are probably unarmed come and approach you?
You say that one more time?
Why? Okay, so first off, you're videotaping, you're standing outside, you're being extremely suspicious. They can't tell that that's a selfie stick. Why would citizens that are on...
It was like this.
How are you going to ask me a question and then not let me finish?
I was like, Aaron came outside and talked to me. We had a good dialogue.
That's not what the lady on the phone said to put in the call about you.
I can show you the video. Y'all want to see the video?
No, I'd like to get your information so I could send you away.
For reasonable, articulable suspicion.
I just did. I gave you all the reasonable suspicion we would need as a law enforcement
Let's just see
officer.
what the supervisor say when he get here. This is wild.
Okay, well, I don't like your movement, so I'm going to detain you. You keep backing away from the car.
I'm not
You're
doing
being
anything.
extremely suspicious.
Why are y'all taking my camera?
And you're going to be detained. You're not
going
under
anywhere.
arrest. You can keep your little stick thing on there. But you keep backing up towards the road, and I don't like that.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
And the fact that you're refusing to give us any sort of information, we're just gonna sit you on the curb, brother. And
Reaching into your pocket.
yeah, I don't like all the jazz.
Can I get my? Can I hold that, please?
No.
Okay.
Over here at the corner.
Okay, I'll just put it on the hood.
They said we can get the car towed out of here if we needed to.
Come on, what would you?
That's too much, bro.
What am I? I'm in cuffs. Ain't nothing in my pocket. My portable charger. You pat me down. Come on,
are you
pat
giving
me
me consent to
down.
search your person?
I have nothing on me. I have my portable
I'm asking you,
charger.
are you giving me consent to search your person?
No, sir, man.
Okay, then have a seat.
Can I stand?
No, you cannot have a seat.
Cross your ankles, partner.
This is.
Per our policy, when we sit you down, you need to kick your legs out and cross them.
Oh my God.
So are you going to refuse another lawful order? Is that what I'm gathering?
First of all, you got me detained.
Yes, correct.
I'm on the sidewalk.
At this point, hindering. At this point, hindering.
Detainment.
And I literally just said that I would like to let you go, and you just continue to keep going.
This is illegal.
The way that you're acting, as of right now, we've given you multiple commands and you're not abiding by them.
I don't have to follow your commands if I haven't committed a crime, sir.
You don't have to follow.
Not if I haven't committed no crime.
When
It's not lawful if I haven't committed a crime. It's not lawful if I haven't committed a crime. Public photography? You know the plain view doctrine? You can't trespass my eyes. Anything I say
I'm just telling you that I literally gave you more than enough, even just reasonable suspicion.
Have it on camera by chance of our male that we have detained here on bank property at any point. Thank you. I'm gonna recall the calling party. Hi, Ellen. This is Officer Cordova with the police department. Hi. I wanted to we have your male here at the gas station. He's detained in the handcuffs. I just wanted to get some details regarding what exactly happened there. Yeah. And yeah, independent journalist. Okay. Yeah, and he was on bank property. Okay, is the grassed area where he was standing, is that the bank property? What's that? Hold on. Okay, so the grassed area. Okay, so he was on the grass, and that's bank property.
And he went like down our little sidewalk here on the side of our building. And was recorded from that area too.
Okay, so the sidewalks are city property, but if he's in the grassed area, on where you're telling me that the grassed area there is property of the central bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do appreciate it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Actually, let me call her back real quick and see if... Hi, is this Alan?
Yes.
Sorry, it's Officer Cordova again. I just wanted to ask, ma'am, are you willing to sign a complaint for the lawful trespass?
Yeah, I'll sign it.
Okay, and you did tell him that he wasn't allowed on the bank property, correct?
I told him it was just a law for him to be recording our bank.
Right,
and
right.
He even asked me what was my name while he was recording. When I was telling him he couldn't do that because it's against the law.
Okay. So then I won't issue him a charge for trespassing. I'll issue him a trespass warning. Okay, we'll get him identified. I'll issue him a trespass warning. I'll print out the warning for you and I'll bring it to you. Can I get your name and date of birth?
My name's Ellen. Mine?
Yes.
Ellen Davis.
It's ELLEN?
Yes.
And Davis, DAVIS?
Yes.
Okay, and then date of birth?
5/19/64.
1964. And are you a white female, black female?
Black.
Okay. And then I'll use the bank address for yours, hon, and then this phone number. I do appreciate it, okay?
I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. So, you were on the sidewalk during that point?
Permission for them to believe that there's some sort of strangeness going on here.
Strange. It's strange, a misdemeanor or a felony.
I believe it'd be a misdemeanor.
Wow. I was going to go get the train until they stopped me. I was like, they did good because they didn't try to, force me. Hey, you can't record. Well, the lady said that, and I was like, hey, ma'am, I'm on public sidewalk.
It seems like you just want to be confrontational with people.
No, sir, listen. You caught me off guard because you are a law enforcer, not a feelings enforcer. So if they feel this way and feel that way, we can't go on feelings. You are a law
If you can't remotely pass through or fathom why it would make inner city folks of any sort of business uncomfortable that a male they don't know is outside videotaping, or at least what appears to be videotaping their business, especially when it's a bank, I don't know what to tell you.
Public photography.
You can't tell me, you can't look me in the eye and tell me that wouldn't make anybody upset, or at least a little suspicious.
I don't want to.
Bremer.
So, Mr. Bremer.
Yes.
I get what they're saying, that they feel nervous, suspicious, whatever going on. But they came outside and had a dialogue with me.
Not the lady that we were on the phone with that put in the call about you.
On my phone.
And that might be the case, brother, but that's not who you talked to, or that's not who talked to us.
But listen, a gentleman and a lady came out the bank to speak with me.
We talked to a lady. We haven't seen her verbatim, but...
Okay, the guy name that came out and talked to me, his name is Aaron. The other lady, the black lady that came out, she didn't want to give me her name. But I let them both know, hey, I'm an independent journalist. I'm just gathering content for a story. I came to get the train. She said, hey, you can't record the bank. I said, well, who told you that? What made you think that? I'm on a public sidewalk. So then I did point my camera at the bank to, I can't record on the sidewalk. But I came intentionally to come get this train right here.
But you were about to leave when we walked up.
You said what?
You were about to leave when we walked up.
Yeah.
The train just came.
I got the train. Do you want to see my footage?
No, bro, I'm just asking, bro. We're literally been sitting here and it just passed.
I already got the train. I got 3 times the train.
I mean, I'm sure there's more than one train, but
Mr. Bremer, come on, man. You enforcing.
You made it seem like it was this.
You enforcing feelings.
No, bro, I'm not trying to enforce anything. I'm trying to send you about your way. When did you get your vehicle?
Enforcing feelings. That's wild. Law enforcement enforcing feelings. What's the law?
Hey man, it's 2024. We're out here for everybody's feelings.
Law for feelings.
Mm-hmm.
To detain someone.
Okay, sir. So, you were on the sidewalk during that point. I want to tell you that. But you were also in the grass area.
No, I wasn't. I got it on. We got camera footage.
You were on the
I was never on the grass, sir. I know the law. This is what I do. I'm an independent journalist, sir.
She talked to you while you were in the grass.
I wasn't in the grass. I'm on the sidewalk.
Which is their property. Which I understand.
I'll let you talk.
But I am going to issue you a trespass warning.
I was not on the grass,
It's not
sir.
a charge. It's just saying that you cannot be trespassing.
Here we go. Here goes the guy that knows the law.
Understand what I'm saying?
That's the captain, but he'll probably tell you the same thing.
Okay. And what's his name?
Captain Clark?
Captain Clark?
Yes, sir.
You want to talk to him? Towing party talked to him on the grass, which is bank property.
Real-time answer, yeah.
Yeah, he was on their property in the grassed area, again, which is their property. I don't know the full conversation because she had it with Jed, but they asked him to leave. He's now refusing to give us his information and says that we're unlawfully detaining him. And wants a supervisor.
How you doing, Captain Clark?
Fine, how are you?
How you doing? Okay, my name. I'm an independent journalist. I'm gathering content for a story. That's it. He said, well, what's your story about? I said, I can't tell you. He said, why can't you tell me? I said, it compromises the story. It's not published yet. So then the black lady came out and she said, hey, you can't record the bank. I said, well, what would make you say that? I'm on a public sidewalk. She said, you just can't record the bank. And then I just started pointing my camera towards the bank. I was standing there maybe about 10, 15 minutes. They never bothered me again. I said, okay, I'll give you guys a pass. I walked off.
Bank call.
I walked over here.
Bank call.
Yes.
I walked over here. I got everything on camera too, sir. I can show you.
All right. Well, I tell you what.
He
They call it so there's cameras everywhere in here. So you were. The easement right there is the sidewalk, but the grassy area actually belongs to the. Okay. Well, here's the thing. So does the bank want to do anything?
They can't trespass me. I was on the sidewalk. I was on the sidewalk. You can't trespass me from public property. Plain view doctrine.
Okay.
Can't trespass my eyes. Anything I see him.
What was your first name?
Moses. My name
Moses?
is. You call me Moses, sir.
So I don't have to. So you guys okay if I stand him up?
And
Once you stand up, why don't I have to?
And I have no ill intent. I have nothing on me. Like
here that way, we don't have to.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to look straight up.
Yes, sir.
All right. So.
And one more thing I want to say, sir. So when these gentlemen came, he's been pretty good. The guy right here, Mr. Bremer.
You can tell 50 that he's doing paperwork station. You can tell him this is on.
Okay.
Mr. Bremer actually did a real good job, but
52 to 50.
So
303 has graciously taken your spot and disregarded you unless you're pulling up now. Good.
That's all I've been doing, sir. That's why I just said, hey, instead of going back and forth, let's get a captain or you guys supervisor. Go ahead.
I talked to the lady at the bank. He was on bank property. She asked him, hey, you can't record here. He continued to do it. He stepped back onto the sidewalk, continued to do it. 1 second.
Hey, Dion.
Hey, Kelly. Hey, I just want to put something on your radar. You're still here, aren't you?
I am.
Okay. Will you just be mindful of 357? That's actually Comfort and Josh. They're out here at the...
We need to get him ID'd for a trespass warning for the bank. He was on the bank property in the grass. I talked to the calling party. Her name's Ellen Davis. And she's still there. She works there. But she contacted him in the grass saying, hey, you can't record. He said, okay, that's fine. And he said, you can't tell me I can't record. And he said, you can't tell me I can't record. And so
All right, we'll catch you later.
he stepped back onto the sidewalk. And so they want to issue him a trespass warning because it was the one time. And so they would like us to be able to issue him a trespass warning, but we need to get him identified.
So
This is the collapse. A supervisor steps in, and everything changes. He confirms there is no crime, no violation, no legal basis for ID. Even in stop and identify jurisdictions like Kansas City, ID can only be required when reasonable suspicion exists. Without that, detention becomes unconstitutional. In seconds, authority shifts and the entire case unravels.
was he ever warned not to be on the property beforehand?
Not before and at that time.
So we have no violation of law then, correct?
Just the warning.
So he didn't want to ID himself?
No.
I mean, he didn't break a law. He didn't have to ID himself.
Okay.
So it'd be one thing if he went back up on there after he was warned, but
Okay.
I mean, you can tell him, sorry, you didn't break the law. We can't just ID people because they wanted to give trespass warnings.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You disagree with that? Yes, you disagree, or yes?
Yep, that was what the conversation we were about to have when Dion called me about Comfort and Josh are at the new side of the detention area, and they got human remains.
Yeah,
so.
I think 10's out there with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Unless we have a criminal problem with them.
Well, I'm going to head out there.
Okay.
Another issue. All right, Captain. Yes, sir. Another issue is his vehicle is not coming back on file through Kansas registration.
Okay.
So, I talked to the property. and it doesn't come back, and he didn't want to provide me the registration information for it. He didn't say his name. He just.
We could have already sent you home, brother.
He sent your captain's finna coach him.
Well, he's about to tell him the same thing he told you.
Okay.
We can't verbally trespass somebody we don't know.
You can't trespass my eyes.
I get what you're saying,
Plain
but you
view
weren't
doctrine.
you weren't just there.
Plain view doctrine.
You seem, I'm gonna be honest, bro, you seem well versed in certain things, but not like everything.
No, this is what I do.
I hear you, I believe you. I'm not arguing about
We're
that.
talking about the First Amendment now, man. We're only talking about the First Amendment.
I understand.
I have freedom of the press. Anything I see in public, I can record. Now, you recording somebody in public, they may be like, hey, I don't want you to record me. I didn't give you consent. I don't need consent in public.
Well, I'm just asking out of curiosity then, because I don't know the like the publisher side of this.
You don't need
so when you hold on.
Go
So
ahead.
when you like when they have these, I don't know, let's say cops. You're watching cops.
Yeah.
And then like there's people with blurred out faces. Don't they have to sign a consent?
Not if you're in public.
Well, I'm just saying this scenario's in public.
Okay, let me give you a scenario. You at Disney World. You take your kids to Disneyland or whatever.
Yeah.
And you ready to take a picture. You gonna make everybody in the background of your picture sign up.
Well, I mean, but that's not broadcasting it. I'm just asking because you're not broadcasting it on, like public television. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a personal use picture. Like yours is. Well, I don't know what exactly you're doing, but.
Look at this. They taking cuffs off me.
Yeah, I told you were detained.
Illegal.
Now you're just being confrontational again, brother.
Illegally cuffed.
That's our sergeant. If you need to.
That's the sergeant?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, sergeant?
Good, how you doing, man?
What's your name and your badge number, sir?
Star 4, 5382.
Yes, sir. Again, just to give you a little quick rough draft of what took place here, man. Right before what? I got some more right there. So before I came here, I parked right here. I walked down there just so I can get a nice good footage of the train. And I seen I had a sidewalk where I can get over there to the gate. So I walked up to get the train, and on my way back, the vehicle in the bank, his name is here. I spoke to Aaron, said, hey, my name is Moses. I'm an independent journalist, just gathering content for a story. Another lady came out and said, hey, you can record the thing. I said, well, you know, she can record the thing. About 10 minutes or so, just to prove a point that I can record. Okay. I walked off, came over here to get a drink. As I'm stepping in the car, these fine guys pulled, and I seen several cops rolling by. They even waved at me. I even got it on camera. And then these guys pulled up, you know. I turned my camera back on. Hey, how you guys doing? And let them know what happened. And then he just started saying, hey, where's your ID? Bring me your tags. You got registration. It seemed like you just was like just digging, just wanting to arrest me, man. I have no
nothing
feeling
against you, brother.
I told you multiple times I didn't want to arrest you.
Here's the deal. They got called. The reason why everyone went by, they're the ones who got called. The other ones, they claim you're on their property. Obviously, just so you know, you're not allowed on their property. If you're on their property, you have an issue. No, you can't be on the private property. They didn't want you on there.
I was never on the property.
And that's fine. I mean, if they,
It's okay.
you're allowed. I mean, you were there freely.
Yeah.
They warned you, don't go back. Now you've been warned, don't go back to the property.
I know it's never right.
Again, they were responding to a call. That's all they were doing.
Just what kind of bothering me is how you pronounce your name? What's your name and badge number? Cordova. And this is just a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? I never knew how long you've been on the force. And sometimes you never come to this. But once I told you what took place, issue. I said, hey, sir, you said they trying to trespass me. I'm like, I never know this property. It's a plain view document. Whenever I see in public, I can record. You can't trespass me. That's all.
So getting information on other events.
But I even asked you, I said, I'll stop my camera and I'll show you. You said no, I don't want to see it. I never said that. I know. Man, the story gonna love it, man. It's on camera.
So do you need anything else?
I don't need anything else. You did great, man. One more time, because they're gonna highlight you in the footage. One more time. 565, Mr.
Oh,
Porter.
serial 5382.
Mr. Porter, man. I appreciate it.
Is it your vehicle though? Just so you know, we're not gonna make a big deal, but obviously that being broken is illegal, so make sure you get that fixed, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other questions for me?
I know you, man. You're great. I'm glad you came on this. That's why when they came, and I can tell a lot of, when you run into officers, sometimes they're not used to the recording. And people saying, hey, I don't want to be recorded. So instantly I said, just let's get a supervisor. I know the supervisor.
And that's fine. You can always have to do
Yeah,
it.
yes, sir.
They're responding. Their side was that you were trespassing, and that's all they were investigating.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man.
You got anything else for me?
Nothing.
All right, we're going to get out of here, sir. You have a good day.
Good, it's about time somebody starts getting up.
After Kansas City officers were forced to admit no law had been broken, the bigger question remains: what happens when police refuse to back down even after the facts are clear? In the next encounter, the tension rises even higher, this time outside a sheriff's office.
Stop right there.
Back off. Back off.
No, I'm not going to back off. Okay? What's going on? What's going on? I'm out that individual, Patton and Jackson. What's going on? Talk to me. What's going on? Why are you running? Talk to me. Why are you running? Why are you running? Look. You're not going anywhere. Talk to me. Why are you running? I want to talk to you. Nobody's done anything to you yet. Are you going to talk to me? Look, we got a complaint about you being up here. Talk to me.
What's going on?
Big hands out of your pocket.
Hey, come here, talk to me.
Don't approach me. Don't approach me. Don't approach me.
Put your hands up on the car. I haven't broken the law. Exercising my rights in public. You have no right to touch me.
Okay, yes, I do. I'm patting you down the weapon.
This officer violating my rights?
No, I'm not.
Yes, he is.
Okay, hang on.
I don't consent to search and seize of my property.
We're not searching you. We're patting you down for our safety.
Get off
okay?
me, bro. Move, man. Get off of me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. I already told you that. Sir, you have no right to touch me.
Okay, calm down.
Yes, I do.
Calm down.
This guy's touching me right here.
What is your name? What's going on
What's
with
your name
you?
and badge number, ma'am? Identify yourself since you want to go hands on.
I'm Sergeant Wild. What is your name?
What's your name and badge number, ma'am?
I'm asking you a question.
What's your name and badge number? Are you not going to identify yourself?
I am. You need to identify
hands.
yourself.
What's your badge number?
The moment the officer asks for ID, the dynamic shifts. The cameraman fires back with the only question that matters: am I being detained for a crime? Under Fourth Amendment standards, police need reasonable suspicion to detain someone. In Texas, there is no general stop and identify law. You are not required to provide ID unless lawfully arrested. Here, the silence becomes power. The officer hesitates because legally, the ground beneath him is already cracking.
Hands. Okay, be respectful.
What is your name? You got an ID on you?
Am I being detained for a crime?
We're investigating. We got called on you, okay?
How about you guys disperse and get up out of here?
Okay.
And why would we do that?
Because you have no reason to be here.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We got a call on you.
Around the sheriff's office here.
See, here's the thing. They're not used to a man standing up for his rights. Especially in Jacksonville, Texas. They're not used to it. That's why they're laughing and thinking it's funny that they violate people's constitutional rights on a daily. They do not respect our rights. but guys like me are putting them straight. Back to the video, guys.
Okay, we got a complaint. Find out what's going on. I come up to talk to you, and you take off running. So yes, that's very suspicious.
Not illegal.
I didn't say it was illegal. I said it was suspicious. I try to talk to you, and you won't talk to me. So tell me what's going on.
Right now, what I need you to do is get from behind me and go back into your vehicle.
I don't have to do that.
Well, I'm gonna go and walk away then.
Then walk away. How about that? Walk away.
How about that? Huh?
Go on.
I don't have to.
Go on.
I actually can stay here if I want.
You're actually in the roadway, so.
Because you put me against the car.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Yes,
you stepped
so
over here towards me.
He did not move me. He didn't move me.
Okay, how about you get out of the roadway?
I'll get out
on
the
the
roadway.
sidewalk.
I'll definitely get out the roadway. Not an issue there. But y'all pushed me against the car.
Okay, keep moving.
I don't have to keep moving. I haven't broken the law.
Do what?
I haven't broken the law. Ma'am, do yourself a favor. Go back in your patrol car.
You're not telling me what to do.
I am telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Well, good thing we don't have to listen to you, right?
I mean, you're wasting tax dollars, so.
On you, you're right.
That's your fault. You chose to be here.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We got called.
I was minding my own.
Somebody thought it was very suspicious that you were hanging around the sheriff's office over here.
Which is funded by our tax dollars, right?
Oh, do you pay taxes?
Oh, I sure do.
Oh,
I pay a lot more than you think, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I pay a lot more taxes than you think.
I'm sure you do.
E-hands, do yourself a favor. Go back in your car
You're not gonna tell me when I can leave and when I can't leave.
Actually, I'm going to tell you when you can leave.
Well, guess what? I don't have to listen to you.
Well, I guess we're going to be here all day then, huh? I got nothing but... I don't care either.
Are you intoxicated? You sound like you're intoxicated or
are you making false
substances.
Are you making false accusations?
Asking you.
Are you making false
I'm
allegations?
asking you. Are you answering or not?
Nothing wrong with exercising your First Amendment rights in public. You guys came to me, bro. I was minding.
What's the First Amendment?
Freedom of press.
Okay, what are you...
Right now I'm recording you guys.
And for?
That's good.
Because
We're recording you too.
Because you guys are funded by tax dollars.
Right, and we're doing our job.
Well, how about, since there's no crime happening here, how about you guys disperse?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Well, I've already explained it to you.
We got called on you. You don't need to explain nothing to us.
Don't you want to explain? You're stupid. Get out of my sight now.
For what?
Well, I can't do nothing to you because I'll go to jail, so get out.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you got that badge.
That's right.
You got that badge. That badge is the only thing that's making you stand here right now.
That's right.
That badge.
I got called here, and I'm doing my job.
Well, now that there's no crime committed, how about get going?
I don't know if there's a crime committed because you will not identify yourself.
I don't have to give my ID to you.
Well, okay. So what is the deal? I asked you if you were intoxicated, and you didn't give me an answer.
I don't answer questions. How about that?
Oh, okay. How about that?
Yep. Well, I got none but time. Super. You guys can disperse at any time.
This is where the contradiction becomes undeniable. The officer admits, I don't know if there's a crime, yet still demands identification. Under Brown v. Texas, 1979, detaining someone without reasonable suspicion is unconstitutional, and filming in public is protected under the First Amendment, as long as it doesn't interfere.
You guys want? You guys can disperse at any time you want. What's your name and badge number?
It's written right there.
Written right there? Mm-hmm. Your name is right here?
Yep.
Can you pronounce it?
Born down.
Badge number?
222.
Good job. You already identified yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Next time when I ask you for your identification,
we don't have to. Okay, so first of all,
what happened? When I ask you for ID, you give it to me, okay?
We don't have to.
How about you quit running your head? Do yourself a favor.
You're funded by tax dollars. It's your obligation to identify yourself. How do I know you're not in person? How do you know you're not fake police officers?
If you think we're impersonating, call the police.
Isn't it?
They'll tell you whether or not we are, right? Good. Yeah,
that's the whole
for that one, were you?
Yeah. That's the whole point of identifying yourself, man. That's a good. You got me there. I can't lie. guess we're just gonna sit here and do nothing, or what?
No, we're waiting on an answer.
Answer?
Yep, from the sheriff's office. Once we get an answer from the sheriff's office, then we'll go from there.
I just want to let you know something. You can't trespass from the sheriff's department. It is public property. Funded by tax dollars.
Actually, it's not public property.
Who funds the sheriff's department?
This isn't the sheriff's
Doesn't matter who funds it. It's still private property.
It's in Russ, Texas.
Why does it
It's just
say
like a
sheriff's
school,
department?
It's not public property either.
It's
School
still
is
funded by tax dollars. I could be at the prison and it wouldn't matter. It's funded by our tax dollars. So am I being detained for
You were in prison? What did you
I
say?
said it's like being on a prison property. It's still funded by tax dollars.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't be on prison property. Try it and see what happens. Try to get in there.
I've done a lot of things on a prison
Oh,
property.
I'm sure.
Before. I've exercised my rights on a prison property.
Oh,
before.
I'm sure you have.
So, I don't know what. Okay, I don't know what you're insinuating, but am I being detained for a crime?
I told you you could leave, so leave.
Okay. So I'm not detained. So
I
you
never
don't
said you were detained.
Okay, I just want to get that clarified. If I'm not detained, then I'm free to stay. I just want
No, if we're waiting on an answer to see if they want you criminally trespassed. If we do, then you're going to be criminally trespassed, and then you will leave the property. If not, you can stay here.
I am
By all
on.
means.
I'm on
You can
public.
stand right there too. I don't care where you stand.
So
but if they
long-
want you CT, it's not going to be here.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not detained, so you don't get my ID. The best thing you guys can do for yourself is to go back in your car and leave.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Well, I'm glad you think that. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. See, I'm so glad I do these audits.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I'm doing a very good job. And you're gonna be the star of the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That's a compliment. I like being a star.
Yeah, you say that now.
Star a lot of things.
I guess. Your attitude's a problem, man. That's
So
why.
is yours.
That's why there's a disconnect.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's what I'm here for, to test out, to see if you guys respect my rights, and you failed miserably.
Thank you.
You know, the other
You can
police,
put it on my eval.
the other police.
Or you can look up the complaint form and write a complaint too.
I might do that.
Do it.
I might. Just not today. I got better things to do.
Me too.
So, I mean, you can leave.
I will whenever I get an answer.
I would hope the sheriff would respect the Constitution.
But that doesn't have anything to do with you being criminal trespass.
It has a lot to do with it. If I'm not able to exercise my rights on a sheriff's department property, which is funded by our tax dollars, then that is going against the Constitution.
Let me explain something to you, okay?
Yeah.
Because who it's funded by doesn't have anything to do with it. It's like school property. School property is private property. If they want you removed from that
Depending on the schools.
No, public school is private property. It's owned by the school district, okay? And if they want you removed from that, you can be removed from that property, okay? Just like the sheriff's office. Okay?
Nah,
It's
I don't
not
think that's
public
true.
property. Public property would be like this sidewalk right here.
Which I'm not on there.
On when I drove up, you were in their parking lot up there by the office, okay? So that's
And I was never told to leave either.
You didn't give us a chance either. You took off running.
Nah, I wasn't detained at the time either.
No,
So,
but we've gotten to that point now where we're talking to you about it. So once we find out, then we'll go from there.
All right.
If you criminally trespass, then we'll do that.
so you guys, man. So if I'm not detained, I'm gonna go ahead and leave, okay? Okay. I'm just waiting on you guys to disperse.
We're not going to. We're staying here until we get an answer.
Okay.
And we don't have to leave either. You don't have to tell us to disperse because we don't have to. We can do however we want to go.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
I would like to have the sheriff come out here to confirm your criminal trespass too. Well, I'm not gonna take your word for it.
You don't have to.
I'm not gonna take your word for it, man. I would rather have the sheriff tell me. So I have that right. I have that right.
You know, if they tell us to do that, then we'll do it.
Okay.
That's our legal right.
Well, we'll see. You seem kind of bored.
I am.
You know,
I'd rather be doing with real crime instead of fake people like this.
Well, you can leave.
Who think they know the law.
I do know the law.
Oh, I'm sure
I
you
may
do.
not know all the laws. That I'll give you.
agree with that.
That I'll give you. But I know enough.
All right, Sheriff said you need to leave the property.
I am on the sidewalk.
Okay, and keep walking.
I am on the sidewalk. This is not their property. How about you disperse, and when you guys leave, I'll leave.
How about you keep running your dumb mouth?
Why you gotta be so mean?
I'm not mean. You're just making a fool out of yourself.
You're calling me dumb.
So let's get something. I want you to understand something, okay?
Yep.
If you go back on the property over here, the sheriff's office property, that's the parking lot, their property, anywhere around there, okay? If we come back and see you there, you'll be arrested and you'll go to jail, okay? So don't do that.
I mean,
sidewalk's okay.
I mean, if you want a lawsuit, go ahead.
It's not about whether we want a lawsuit or not.
Saying,
it's about you're being criminally trespassed from that property.
From a public facility, man. It's not a public facility. So what if I need to...
So can you walk in there right now?
Right now it's closed.
Exactly.
That don't mean
that means it's not open to the public right now. So
it is a public facility.
No, it's private property. Belongs to the county. That makes it private property.
No.
Yes, it does.
Who funds the county?
It doesn't matter who pays for it.
I pay taxes, so therefore I fund the county.
That has nothing to do with whether it's private property or not. That's what I'm trying to explain to you about the school, Walmart, all these where you go shopping. All these places are private property.
The school is funded by public, but I have no reason to be at a school. I don't test teacher about their rights. I test police about their rights. Yeah. And that's all I do, man.
I understand what you're doing out here.
And if you know I'm not breaking the law, why not just...
Okay, you were on private property. They wanted you to leave. You were suspicious. We came to check you out. And you took off running. That's even more suspicious. Instead of just stopping and talking to me like I wanted you to, you decided to make this a bigger deal than what it is.
There's nothing wrong with exercising your rights in public. We all have our styles of doing it.
There's nothing wrong with me doing my job either, right?
I mean, there's a way about going about doing your job.
There is.
You're threatened to arrest me for going back on the sheriff's department.
I didn't threaten to arrest you.
You just said if I go on their property that I'll be arrested.
Yes, because you are being criminally trespassed from that property.
Which is funded by tax dollars.
Want you there.
Well, how about get the sheriff out here?
I don't have to get anybody out here.
Or a deputy sheriff.
I don't have to have a deputy out here. They told us we have the authority to do it, okay? It's within the city limits. Okay?
Whatever you say.
So I'm just letting you know, don't go back on the property, okay?
Good.
Okay, do you just want to go home now? I mean, do you want to go back on patrol? Clearly there's no crime happening. Clearly there's no crime happening right now.
I'm sure there is elsewhere.
Well, maybe go...
That you have us tied up with. So just understand, if you come back on the property, you're going to jail.
You're going to violate my rights?
I'm going to take you to jail. I promise
You're going to
that.
violate my rights?
I'm going to take you to jail, I promise you that.
That's how we're going to do it. Okay. Okay. Well, you have a good day, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't make it any more difficult than what it already is, okay? Just don't go back.
I've already proven what I need to prove, bro. You guys don't respect the Constitution.
We don't have to worry about it.
I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow during business hours to confirm that trespass.
They probably won't be there on the weekend.
On weekend?
This is a special units facility here. It's an annex of the sheriff's office.
Okay.
The actual sheriff's office is down the road.
Okay. So, all right. I'll confirm that with the sheriff's department on Tuesday because it's Memorial Day.
Okay.
So.
All righty.
You have a good day. You too. Alright guys, so I would test that limit, but I don't want to go to jail today, so.
2 videos, 2 confrontations, but one truth remains. Your civil rights do not end because someone wears a badge. When there is no crime and no reasonable suspicion, demanding ID stops being law enforcement and starts becoming a test of whether you know your rights. This is not about resistance for the sake of conflict. This is about peaceful resistance through legal knowledge. Remember this, you do not need to stay silent. You need to know the law. If you've ever been asked for ID unlawfully, share your story in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and stay with us so you're never caught off guard again. This is ID Refusal Pro, where civil rights are your strongest weapon.